What's going on, everybody? So I've been getting a bunch of questions about this 8 HP swap that I put into this IS300. Um, so here's going to be a little bit of a video kind of showing, some of the things that everybody wants to know about. Just for the record, it is an 8 HP 70 out of a 2019 Dodge Scat Pack. Used the kit from Perfect Tuning. Their website is 8hptheworld.com. Guys up in Canada, they're pretty good. Haven't had any issues with them. So one of the big questions that everybody has is having to move the engine forward. So you can see down in there, it does have adjustable motor mounts in it. They are fully maxed out right now. I plan on trying to push it back some with the mount that's in it. It was one of the first productions that they used, and it was kind of just a reuse of a CD009 mount that kind of works. But like I said, I want to slide it back a little bit, get a little bit more room. Here's a look at the front up by the fans. It is touching the reservoir just slightly, but there's still plenty of room for the pulleys and everything else. You do need to trim the upper radiator hose. I haven't had a problem with it, but I also haven't driven it a whole lot. It's just been a couple times. It is a little close to the fan connector. Doesn't hit it right now. I don't have a problem with it currently because, like I said, I'm not driving it a whole lot. It is running off of Max ECU race. I do have an adapter harness that I made for it. It's pretty ghetto. Just took it out just so I didn't have to hear anybody talk about it or see all the comments about it. But currently right now I'm in the process of doing the Powerhouse Racing ABS relocation kit, which there's only really one reason why I bought it, and that's for the bracket. It's actually made for 2002 to 2005, but it does work in here. It's just a little, doesn't look as pretty as it does for the 2002 2005s. Other than that, I mean, you got plenty of room back there in the back. I'm still running stock exhaust, stock intake. Everything's still exactly the same right now. But when I do go turbo, the plan is to get rid of the ECU box and run it through instead of down. Obviously that will negate some of the problems that some people have with trying to run it right next to the power steering. I shouldn't have that issue. Hopefully just use some tight radius bends. Alright, let me put the car up and then I'll show you what's going on underneath. Alright, now I've got it in the air. Under here, I've just got stock LSD for now. I went with the bigger U-joint kit that they had, so I have to run this adapter just for the flange. The problem I had was it was actually rubbing on the fuel tank heat shield. So right now it's ghetto, just because I'm still running stock bushings. It is actually spaced down with a couple of spacers right now, but it shouldn't cause a problem. See, the drive shaft's nice. Should have quite a bit more room. Like I said, it was a reuse of a CD009 mount for the kit that they had for their CD009s. So it did hit right here. I did have to cut that corner off. It was fine on this corner over here. And then obviously you got to cut the ears off. There is still a decent amount of room left in the tunnel. Like I said, use the Perfect Tuning kit for the Dodge 8HP 70, the 70 and the 45. Transmission is, it was sitting on the ground for a while, so it is dirty. I do have an aluminum pan to put on that. Still running stock exhaust all the way back to where it's rotted out, because this car does have over 300,000 miles on it. It is a little rusty, but it's also kind of just a fun project for now. Don't mind the wiring mess right here, because I'm using the stock plugs. I just tapped into a couple wires from the ECU in order to run the can and the battery power down to the transmission. You do have to use some ORB style 90-degree fittings for the trans, because it is a little tight, and you do have to beat it in this area. Don't go too far, because it will interfere with your throttle pedal. I did find that out. You can't actually see the adapter for the torque converter, but it's there. They pretty much all do. As far as the transcooler lines, right now they're just temporarily routed up beside the engine, and then for now just into the stock radiator. All I did was just flip the fittings on the radiator in order for it to come out like that. And then underneath, like I said, it's tight, but there is a little bit of room. There's still room to move back. And then you can see the mount over here. As far as all that goes, that's basically it. I mean, it fit in pretty easily. You do have to clearance the top of the tunnel for the vent that's up there. You can't see it. And there's a little bit of clearancing back here for one of the ears that's on the actual transmission. Other than that, it really wasn't that bad to put in. It fit pretty well. Just a couple of small little things. Other than that, I'll show you what I'm using to shift it, and then finish this video off. Okay, so as far as wiring the trans, for Max ECU, they just want a constant 12 volt, a battery ignition, a ground at your can high and can low. It does have a terminating resistor inside of it for the TCU, as well as Max ECU has a terminating resistor inside of it. So your two terminating resistors are done for the can network. You can add whatever you want to it. Don't have to have a resistor for it now. Currently, for shifting, I'm just using, regular can keypad. Granted, all the buttons, none of them match what they actually are. The top left is park. Next one over is reverse. Next is neutral. Next one is drive. And then the fifth one over is for manual shifting, which currently it is set up to use the factory up and down buttons on the IS300. My gauge cluster does still work because I am using the all four swap MPX box. And then Max ECU also has Bluetooth, which I can Bluetooth to my radio, use that as some kind of monitor. I can also use it to switch the drive modes that they have inside of Max ECU for it. Just dropped my impact. They have 4 drive modes that they can use, which is a part or a street, race, drag, and I can't remember what the other one is, but they all work, and I can switch it through the radio just through a Bluetooth, digital Bluetooth switch. Besides that, that's basically all I've got. If you got any more questions, just let me know. I'll try and answer what I can. Thanks for watching. See y'all later.